Good morning. My name is Jules and I'm the dawdling writer. If you are here to procrastinate, welcome. You're in good company. I'm procrastinating by making this video. Today is NaNoWriMo day 8, which means yesterday was the first full week of NaNoWriMo. And I did not vlog past day 3. And there was sort of a reason for that. My day 3 was about how I was having transition trouble between a couple of scenes and how I wanted dialogue to go in order to get from point A to point B. And I continued to have a little bit of trouble with that. So I tried taking other people's advice in just writing other scenes and whatnot, but it really wasn't working for me. I just wasn't able to get back into the groove. So day 5, I only wrote a couple hundred words but I did that in the Gravely Mistaken project. Day 6, I sort of really got in a funk and I was kind of panicking about the word count. And so I started writing in a different project, but I was adding it to my word count. And I wound up having anxiety over that as well. So day 7, I decided I was really going to focus on the Gravely Mistaken project, because my non-word count goal for November was to create the first complete draft of Gravely Mistaken. So all the words that I was creating for other projects didn't count towards my non-word count goal, if that makes any sense. So I had written on the 6th, I had written about somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 words in my other projects. Some of them were short stories, some of them were my children's mysteries that I had been writing on and off since college. So I really, even though I hit my word count goal for day 6, which was the 10,000 mark. So I hit that, but it wasn't in my project that I wanted to focus on this month. So I had only about 7,200 words in my main project. So I was really kind of freaking out about it. And so I made a very, very concerted effort on the 7th, which was yesterday, and I was writing anywhere between like 16 words at a time to like 90, and it was just very, very, very small chunks of how do I want to get this to go, and adding sort of extra notes to each chapter or parts of the chapters, and notes for book 2 and 3, which it seems a little silly, because if you're writing for book 2 and 3, then wouldn't you think you'd be fine to write book 1? But I don't know. My brain is weird. And I just, by sort of doing those little tiny bits and pieces and sort of reorganizing more things in my brain, then I was able to sort of start immersing myself back into the story. And so my word counts for each little sprint started to grow, and I would get like 200, and then I would get 400 and 600 and 900, and occasionally like over 1,000. So I managed to do 4,536 words yesterday, all in Project Gravely Mistaken. So I'm finally back up to where I should be. So I am currently sitting at 11,756 words for Gravely Mistaken. So, of course, that means I have still today's words to do, but I stopped in the middle of a scene yesterday. So I've gotten the beginning of that scene done, so I can go back into it and continue that line of thought rather than staring at a blank empty scene and having a panic attack about it. But I was able to figure out some more character names. I was able to figure out who I wanted the love interest / heroine to be, and what her role in book 1 is going to be versus book 2, and the kind of conflict that she's going to have with the protagonist. I was able to get that set in my head. So it's coming along. I managed to finish chapter 3 and chapter 4. I took extra notes for chapter 5. I wrote the ending of chapter 5, which may actually turn out to be the middle, but somewhere down the line. I wrote part of the climax for the entire book. So the battle at the end and what the twist is there, because I guess you have to have the twist in your mind before you can start leading all the foreshadowing clues. So I am very tired because it was like 3:30 a.m. before I stopped writing last night, because it was just so long of a process over the entirety of the day, and then I finally hit my stride in the evening because night owl, hello. But I am very tired, and I do have a write-in meetup this evening. So I will be working, after I finish editing this, I will be working to get a few more scenes started. That way I don't have anxiety about the blank page, about the blank scene. Where do I start? Where do I begin? That way I can just continue to write. How are you doing? How is your word count? Are you working mainly in your main project? Are you adding to it, supplementing? There's nothing wrong with that. I felt like in order to reach my goal, which was the first draft of the novel, that I needed to really focus on working only in that. So yeah, that was my struggle over yesterday and the day before. I did see that Becca C. Smith and Kate Kavanaugh were doing some tarot or oracle card readings for their mindfulness for the day. I don't have any oracle cards. I do have quite a few sets of tarot cards, as well as my archetype character cards. So I may do a couple of small mini readings with those. Let me know if you want to see those. I mean, I have a dragon watercolor deck. I have a fairy watercolor deck. I have a steampunk, which is very cool, deck. So yeah, let me know if you would like to see some of those mindfulness readings, I guess we can call them. Okay, so I just went and grabbed a couple of my tarot decks just to kind of show you what they look like. And I pulled the Hermit for today, which is to retreat from your distractions in order to find your own self, your own truth, to be more mindful of just, I guess, your own goals, which is kind of appropriate for what I was speaking about earlier. And the very first deck that I ever got was my, was my Celtic Dragons, and see if I can, there we go. So that's the Hermit for the dragon deck, and one of the others I just pulled for sort of variety, and I pulled them the same ones from each deck. This is the wheel from the dragon set, which just indicates change. And I get the wheel a lot when I'm doing readings for myself. I guess maybe because I'm indecisive. I don't know. So the second deck that I have is my Wheel of the Year tarot deck. Learning the beauty guru where to place it when you can't see it because the camera's in front of you. Anyway, so this is the Hermit from the Wheel of the Year deck. And this is the Wheel card. And then the Hermit from my Shadowscapes, which is, I think, one of the most gorgeous decks that I have. Looks like this. And then the wheel. There we go. I do get a lot of cups when I am doing readings for myself, so like the Ace of Cups, because I am a water sign. I'm a Pisces. That's the back of the Shadowscapes deck. And if you don't believe in all of this stuff, that's fine. You don't have to. For me, it's just kind of a way to figure out what's going on in my own head, sort of subconsciously. This is the Hermit card from my Steampunk deck. The back of it looks really cool too. So that's the Hermit, and then there is the Wheel of Fortune for the Steampunk deck. The Hermit means to get rid of all your distractions and focus on your own truth, your own story. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to go edit real quick. And then I will be writing and then going to the write-in this evening and writing some more. And I'm going to be making sure that everything that I write is in the project Gravely Mistaken, because I want to get that first draft done. Alright, well, I hope that today has helped you either procrastinate or be productive. So I will see y'all soon. Maybe tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow.